Hello friends, my name is Sumit and you're watching CTX Cloud Tech videos. So we continue to our VMware training series. Today we are going to see some aspects about the esxi server networking part. So if you select any esxi server, let's say I'm selecting esxi 5 and again go to the configuration. This is the second part we are going to see. This is the part for networking. So if you will expand the networking, there is 3 and 4 things here. The first one is virtual switch. So virtual switch we will explain later. Let me show some all the examples here. First is virtual switch, second is VM kernel adapter, third one is physical adapter, and TCP IP configuration. So the first three options, we have the main option which we need to understand. Okay, so let's see this diagram here. So whenever you will install any new esxi server, so you will see this kind of configuration on esxi server. Okay, so this middle portion, if you are able to see this middle portion, so this is called standard switch. So you guys can see that standard switch 0. So in the right side of this standard switch, we have a physical adapter. So this is like physical adapter. And in the left side of we have a management and VM network port group. So the management network port group is used to manage ESXi server. VM kernel network is used to connect the virtual machines. Okay, so the three things we need to understand. First one is what is virtual switch. So virtual switch is the intermediate switch between your physical and your backend ESXi servers. Okay, VM kernel adapter is used to connect the virtual machines. It can be a vMotion, virtual machine. It can be a virtual machine. It can be a vMotion things. It can be a fault tolerance things. It can be a provisioning things. So we will see all these things. In our next videos. So whenever we will move this, we will go with this course. So you guys will understand all the things in very deep. Okay. So in the management network, you guys can see that 192.168.1.35. So this is my ESXi server IP address. And whenever we will create a virtual machine, so this will come here under the VM network port group. Okay. So here, whenever we will create in our next videos, whenever we will create a virtual machine, so this will show here. So the first thing is what is virtual switch. The next one is VM adapter. So VM kernel adapter is something like the adapter which is connected to your ESXi server. Okay, and also we can connect with the storage and we can connect with the vMotion. So just stay connected with me. I will show each and everything. So next one is physical adapter. So physical adapter is like the Ethernet ports which are connected with our ESXi server. These are the physical. You guys can say that physical ports in a practical data center. TCP IP configuration is what is the protocol which is connected with these virtual switches. Okay, so let me show you how easy is to create a virtual switch. Okay, once you will go inside this virtual switches, you have to create an add networking. So once you will click on add networking, so it is going to ask, okay, for what purpose you are going to use this standard switch. It can be a like iSCSI, NFS, FOE, fault tolerance, SAN, vSAN. Okay, so these kind of things we can use. Next is virtual machine port group. So if you have a server for which you want to bind this standard switch, you can create here, or a like physical adapter you want to manage. So let me create this for the my storage, because right now if you will show here, so there is no storage here on which I can create a virtual machine. Let me create a virtual switch. Click on add networking, click on next. Here it is asking, do you have any existing virtual switch, or you want to create a new switch, or you want to select an existing virtual switch. So I'm click on new standard switch, click on next. Here it is asking what physical adapter you want to attach with this standard switch. So click on plus and you guys can see that 0 and 1 I am going to reserve for the management. So starting from 2, I'm going to use for the iSCSI storage adapter. So click on 2, click on OK, click on next. Here it is asking for what purpose you are using. So I am using for the storage. So I am going to say that storage VM kernel. Okay, and for by default it is called as provisioning. So we can provision machines on that. Click on next. You want to give any static IP address, so most probably we will give the static IP address here. So I'm giving like 192.168.1.45. click on subnet mask, use the default gateway, click on next, click on finish. So once it will show here, so if you will minimize it, so you guys can see that I have now two standard switches here. First one is where my esxi server is connected. The second one is for the storage. So in the right side of this standard switch, we have a physical adapter which is VMNIC2, and the port group which we have created is for the storage. Okay, and the IP address on this is 192.168.1.45. So now if I'll show here, is my storage is there? No. So for the storage, again, as I shown in my last video, you need a port group. Okay, VM kernel port group, so that you can bind it with the iSCSI storage adapter. So click on add iSCSI storage adapter, click on OK, and now you guys can see that one storage adapter is added here. Okay, so this is the iSCSI storage adapter. So if you guys will click on this adapter and click on, just give me a second, here you guys need to bind the port group which we have created for the storage. So click on network port binding, click on add, and here you guys can see that I have a port group for the storage which we have created just few minutes back. Click on this, and it is saying that policy is compliant. Click on OK, and after that click on rescan storage, click on OK. Again, go to the storage devices, and still you are not able to see any storage device here. So as I shown in my previous video, you guys have to go on dynamic discovery, click on add, and give the IP address of your NAS storage. So 192.168.1.8. Click on OK. Click on rescan storage, click on OK, and click on OK. That's fine. Rescan adapter, rescan storage. Again, I'm going to give a rescan here. So once you will click here, so now you guys can see that QNAP iSCSI is added on my esxi 5. So this is how we can create a standard switch and how we can create a VM port group. Okay, so if I'll go on my esxi 6, again the storage is not there. I have again to create a standard switch. Click on add networking, click on next, click on new standard switch, click on next, add adapter here, click on adapter number 2, click on OK, click on next. Here I have to give this again for the storage, and click on provisioning, click on next, give the IP address is 192.168.1.46, and give the subnet mask, override this default gateway, click on next, click on next. So again, my new standard switch is created here. In the right side, we have uplink, and the left side, we have a VM port group, VM kernel port group. So again, you have to go on storage adapter, click on add iSCSI storage, click on OK, and one storage adapter is added here. Again, you guys have to click on network port binding, click on add, select the storage port group, click on OK. Again, you guys have to rescan the adapter. Now go to the dynamic discovery, click on add, give the IP address of your iSCSI storage or your NAS, click on OK, click on refresh, click on rescan storage, click on OK, and click on storage devices, and you guys can see that one storage is added here. So if I'll go in the storage, if I'll expand my storage, citrix pro storage, so let me go inside host, and how many hosts you guys can see here is 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is currently running in the production. So from this, what you'd understand, guys, if you need to manage a standard switch, so on every esxi host, you have to go on every esxi host, you have to create a standard switch, you have to configure a port group, you have to configure the storage. So this is like a lengthy, long process. If there is any enterprise company who is managing 10,000 of users, 1,000 of esxi servers, so administrator cannot go in every esxi server, and he cannot create a standard switch, he cannot create a port group, and there is multiple chances that something you will miss if you are going to configure in such way on hundreds of 1,000 of esxi server. So to reduce this, we have a switch in our VMware which is called distributed switch. So with the help of distributed switch, you can manage 1000 of ESXi server in one go, which I am going to show in my next video. For this video, I am going to give I am creating the same configuration on all the ESXi servers, so that whenever we will migrate the virtual machine from standard switch to distributed switch, this will not give a single ping failure. So only one ping is fail for 1 second. After that, the machine will automatically come. So this is the beauty of VMware. You don't need to worry that our infrastructure will go if we will move the machines from standard to distributed switch. But again, if you will not configure the distributed switch in a proper way, the whole networking will fail, and then it will become a bigger escalation. So quickly, I'm going to create all these switches for you so that I can see the networking in a proper way. So again, I'm going to create a standard switch here. Click on next, add adapter, click on do, click on OK. Click on next, give the name same is storage. Click on provisioning, click on next. Here we have to give the IP address 192.168.37.255. Click on OK, click on next. Okay. So have you seen that? Even I was trying to configure the things on 3 ESXi servers. So again, it is saying that already in use. So there are multiple chances that you will miss anything during this manual configuration on going each and every ESXi server, making these configurations. So that's why the distributed switch comes into the picture, and it is easy. If you learn like step by step, it is very easy to configure the distributed switch. Click on next, click on new standard switch, click on next. Again, I'm going to add the same VM link here. So click on next, click on storage, click on provisioning, next, give the IP address 192.168.40 is not 47, 48, 255, override, click on next, click on finish. So now my all ESXi server have two standard switches, and they are connected. Let me connect all those to the storage. So storage adapter 6 is connected. So in the 7, we are going to do the same thing. Click on add iSCSI storage adapter, software adapter. Click on here, I add software iSCSI adapter. Click on OK. So in the next, we have to create. Click on here, click on network port binding, click on add. We are going to select storage. Click on OK. On the same, we are going to give the on 8, click on here iSCSI, click on add port bindings, click on storage, click on OK. Because I have done is this multiple times in the production environment and in like whenever I will give the training. So that's why I know these things very smoothly, and that's why I'm doing it in a very fast way. So whenever you will go through with my trainings, so it is very easy. So you guys can configure this in like 5 or 10 minutes. So that's why I'm showing each and every step by step. So make sure guys, please subscribe my channel so that I can get some motivations on this. So click on dynamic discovery, click on add. Here you guys have to give the iSCSI storage here. Click on rescan storage, click on OK. Again, I'm going here, click on this, click on dynamic discovery, give the IP address, click on OK, and click on rescan storage, click on OK. Here I'm going to rescan storage. OK. So now let me go inside my storage, and you guys can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 is not there, and now it is 8. So how fastly you can configure the networking if you know each and every steps in the details. So in our next video, we are going to see how you guys can migrate your ESXi server from one cluster to another. So just stay connected with me, subscribe the CTX Cloud Tech channels, and if you have any questions, so put in my comment section, so I will try to give your answers. So thank you so much guys.